Alright. In a few moments we're gonna have a match. But as we've been doing lately, let's start with a puzzle or two. To get the brain going. And I'll keep an eye out on when they start. I'm guessing queen and takes. And it's bishop f5 if he took. So now back mate. Okay, this will be one of those where you have to find the quickest, because I feel like a lot of possibilities lead to mate. And rook. But I mean, take this also leads to mate. Alright, we have begun. And Marlonc opted for a e6 d6 system, when usually it's about who pushes one of the pawns first. White can push both, and black usually tries to push this and then go here. Hey, Itarumino, good morning or good day. Yeah, this now with h6, it's always a bit doubtful if you can play e5. So maybe he should start with bishop h5 and castles. Let me change this back before I do this for the whole game. Just in time to realize white has a bishop. So bishop f5 happened knight f4 to attack the bishop, put pressure on these squares. 4 AM, wow, and you're still awake or you're already awake? Yeah, this is coming, I think. But still, I would like to see a break in the center. It's going for bishop g5, okay. I mean, now with white you could consider knight h5 or knight at h5. And he wants black wants to deal with this like this. So white can just take back, yeah. And now black can decide if he wants to force the issue. The knight is pretty okay here for the moment. Maybe you could now think about pushing the pawns. I like this as well, it's very safe. Ah, understandably. Yeah. Hey, Bughouse Knight. Yeah, now I would consider giving up a pawn with e5. Take, take. And you get nice pressure. With, let's say, bishop d4. But yeah, not giving up the pawn probably also good. If d5, this bishop is locked out. Maybe bishop e4 now. This knight can go here. And this pawn is hanging, following by this pawn. Whereas black is not really in time. This general always an idea, yeah, to go for something like this. But I think white is playing this pretty nicely so far. Sleeps for the week, right, Etermino? Black wants to invade on these squares, but it's gonna take some time. Yeah, he was threatening to take here, so pawn e6 seems necessary. I wonder if he still considers taking here. Ah, he has a nice trick prepared. Takes a knight f6 to win the queen. He's putting nice pressure on the clock here as well. Knight takes b6, just don't allow this. Yeah, that pawn has been there for a while. But I guess he's... this pawn is also very nice. Guess he's not focused on the pawn on a7. This gotta be mate. This is a good move though, because it's maybe not too obvious. Maybe it's not mate, but it makes him think for a while. Queen d7, he goes here. I would suggest start with bishop at d6. Knight takes, queen d7 here, take the knight, knight d7, wins. But yeah, he can still do bishop at d6 now because there is no good blocker. And back home white still very safe. But bishop at d6 is probably winning instead of queen at d7. I don't like bishop at c7. I think you just have to accept this. Maybe he's afraid of knight takes c6. I'm not awake yet. Now he found mate with knight b5, bishop here, knight c4. The move should come. Yeah, first game goes to white. Pawn drop next, wins the game. Okay, good start for white. Nice game. A by your Miller. World Championship, yeah. Everybody can be a world champion in this format. You just gotta only lose one match and win the rest. Then you're all good. Okay, let's see. The queen was sacrificed here somehow. Which is not as crazy as it seems. Because, okay, with the knight in hand still, black is lacking pieces to attack the squares around the king with. So he's trying to get some diagonals. Understandably, he wants pawn here. But knight h6 could be winning. Actually, yeah, Bucko's knight. Actually, you're right. But we gotta keep letting people dream. If takes. Knight takes f4, it's probably not good enough. Let's say you don't do this. Bishop h6. Take bishop here. And well, maybe you're safe. Probably not. Yeah, Itar Muñoz. If the format stays the same, I mean everybody can sign up. I think in general there's not much wrong with the format. Sometimes it goes a little slow if people don't respond, but aside from that, everything is okay. King takes. What's his plan? It's basically like the World Cup in chess. If you win your continent's championship, you can participate in the World Cup. And then you can become winner of the World Cup. You just have to win a lot of games. Yeah, this is not good. I fail. Pawn e7, rook d8 wins. This is probably same outcome. But Marlon is making it a little bit hard on himself. He has to find some precise moves. Now it's made into rook d7. Okay. Could have been easier maybe, but... Okay, he wants mate in 3 instead of mate in 2. 1-1. Little bit too early with the greed there, and not recognizing the attack on h6 and f6. Okay, let's see if he goes for this pawn setup again. Yeah, there we go. Well, so far so good. I think we're back on schedule. The idea is that that you need a power of 2 to make a nice bracket, knockout bracket. So first there were like almost 300 players eligible, and then we had to go back to 265. And that's now all done, and the first round is all done. And the bracket is there for you to see your favorite players, how far they've advanced. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one, Bayer Miller. For you. Blitz Bullet, hard. Thanks for following Chemical Chess. Yeah, this is what I was talking about before. Black pushed e5, and white decided to give up 2 pieces, and now he's getting an attack on h3. Get a queen trade. Not sure about that one. I think my prediction was doing very well. There was an upset. There are a few upsets, but last time I checked I was first. Now I'm second in the prediction battle. Pawn here was interesting as well. Bagar's Knight's first in the predictions. Oh no. Yeah, he is, Lally. Katask is gonna win. Is most likely winning the candidate's part. Or at least he's the heavy favorite there. Mating one. Think he figured queen g2 and g5, let's run. Yeah, these queen trades will usually favor black with an e5 push. Will he find? Yeah, that was the big question. Yeah, he did. Knight takes f3 was probably okay, yeah. Okay, 2-1. Okay, I usually like what's happening here for black. Just develop normally. Something like this. White usually tries to get the bishops out. I would say not take here. Just knight f6. Giving up a piece for development. Not sure how good that is. Maybe he's taking here now. No, he doesn't. Okay, then take on f3. Completely fine. Yeah, that's the likely outcome if there are no upsets rating wise. I'm playing art. And if I win, playing the finisher. It's best of 10. Idar Muñoz. So first to 5.5 points. And score is visible. Yeah, score is also visible on stream. So. And in case of a 5-5, there will be 2 games to decide. And if then 6-6, and again a new 2 games, etc. And I think the largest score so far is by your 9-7 victory. It's one of the strongest NMs, maybe Lali in the game. That's Marlonc's problem. Because after that, if he moves the queen, there's annoying stuff happening there. Queen f4. Doubt that's good. Bishop takes g2. Knight e6 or pawn e6. And it doesn't help. Oh yeah, he missed this. There's no mate yet with pawn here, knight here. He goes for it. Knight e2, big material was there for the taking. But this probably also very good. Oh, now he for sure will spot this. Nope. Doesn't want it yet. Ooh, rook e7. And he takes, and he made him waste the rook. So I would block on e4, nice. Bishop e4. If he misses it, ban the guy. The good thing is he still has a winning position, so it's not like he lost it. If it was a sub battle, maybe. This guy played on to mate though, and this guy already resigned once, so. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Giving counter chances is not advised. Block. Knight a3 was also very nice there. Knight at a3. King b2, take, pawn b2 mate. But okay. You can just repeat here. Or just go castle. So you can play moves like knight f3. Or play for something like rook takes, knight c4. The black king is still very safe. Bishop g5 is also a good suggestion. Take and then this check. Bishop g5 now is also very nice. Where does the queen go? If you don't know what to do in this position, I'd probably go here, castle, and then see what happens. This is also a move. Queen g4, knight takes, bishop h5. He made him waste a pawn, that's nice, because now he cannot block with the pawn. Yeah, agreed. Eddie to promote. He's finding some way to victory here. He just has to make sure he doesn't flag. Knight takes some pawn, yeah. Pawn d2 is made in 2. Don't really like that decision, but I guess he didn't know what to do. Okay, 2-2. Nah, black was never in doubt. He's just enjoying, having a lot of fun that game. Giving us more positions to look at. Giving Muckward a headache with too many wins. Okay, switching to g6, not going for this. Usual setup is something like this. You can also push the h pawn, but he's just gonna castle. And black tries to be like sort of a turtle, sometimes even with king h8 and knight g8. Just cover this square. But I think Marlonc is going to play with something like this in mind. But here we have the pawn break now before black can play it. He takes. It's okay, I guess, but usually I would make black take. Exactly, Napoleon, exactly. Now maybe he's considering this, and pawn e7, sort of a wild attack. Should not be that much of a problem for black. Knight f4, bishop g3, knight takes g2. Could be something. Yeah, I agree. I don't like at g5. It gives black time. And if you give black time to complete his setup or to win a pawn, usually not a good idea. Okay, 95 now might be interesting. He's first covering the e to a square some more. and threatening to take on e7. So now just bishop g3. There was something to say for pawn f4 and not take. But he's doing it the other way around, because these squares are going to be weak. And if you play something like g4, there's going to be a move like bishop h4. Yeah, this is some double attack. Marlon spots it. He could have maybe make it very wild by taking there, allowing this, but I don't think he should. It's not necessary. But white is doing what he should do, realizing that he's a bit worse here and going after the light squares as soon as possible. This is actually, it's a nice bait, of course. If you take it, then pawn and knight come. But if you don't take it, it's actually in the way. Unless black manages to get a rook for h1. Because if you now play a move like bishop h2, whereas then it may be threatened to take. So it's a good decision not taking on g3. Okay, he's going all in on this. Too bad he cannot take here because he will get mated, but this and then some knight move would be nice. Marlon probably looking for ways to get a rook. Maybe I would play knight e5 here, because I don't see a clear plan yet. And this blocks some squares, covers some, gets some attacking possibilities. Maybe bishop takes b2 is on his mind. No, okay. Now he could play rook e6, but is this enough? Hey Goose, good morning. Because now there's the rook. Black would have task move, play king h8 if you don't know what to do. Or if you are Kartask and you do know what to do, you also play king h8. This looks suspicious for white though. The rook takes e6 move. It gave black the piece that black needed. White king h8. Let's wait for the game to finish, then I'll go back to it while they start the next game. Made in one, okay. Hey, Seaflower. We were saying over here, right? Well, there are always threats on f7, and knight takes e7 is with check, and sometimes knight lands here with check, and the king is, especially here, with all the squares around the bishop on g7 covered, is very safe. there's just no way to attack it, whereas here it's slightly less safe. So that's why king h8. It's the same in some e4, e5 lines where you go. C floor. Okay. Alright, alright. Okay, that's too bad. He dropped the piece with the common trick. Thanks for the follow, C floor. And yeah, this is gonna be 1-0 if Marlonc keeps his nerves. Here's a full rook up and king is safe. You gotta go DM Chuck Milton. He's leader of this team. Nice, Napoleon. And there we have Chuck. Chuck's always there. Always has been there. Good to see you. Okay, he got some material back. But this is coming sometimes. Yeah, you're right, Bacchus Knight there. If the last game he needed some more patience. And game 3, I believe. Yeah, game 3 was also, well, not a fluke by Marlon, but not optimal defense by Ernesto. Yeah, and this is hard. Or what are you gonna do here? Especially you don't have any counter play. So rook h8 or rook f8 is coming, and that's tough. Maybe knight h6 after rook h8, but then take and rook f8. Knight d5 to try to take the bishop doesn't really work because there's the fork if he takes back. So he goes for bishop e7, and I think queen takes he wants. Yeah, well, black just gave up a piece for nothing, so white could sacrifice the piece back, and then it's just well, there you go, C floor. Thanks, Chuck. Yeah, now rook f8 probably is good. Take, rook g8, mate. Rook h8 also. Queen e8 made a 1. Knight covers the square. Okay, 4-2. Let's see if Ernesto can bounce back. Okay, pushing for a quick e5 now. These openings with this it's hard to play for black, but previous game Marlon made it work. I don't know if you should allow h6 with tempo. Would have tried knight g3 there. Try to open up the file. Queen trade is less worrisome now for white since he gets the rook on d1. King is not so easily attacked. Well, you could consider giving up a pawn here. Pawn h6 takes. Yeah, true. This is coming after at h6. He decides to give up this pawn instead. Maybe it would have been interesting to play bishop takes f7 in between. King out. Yeah, this is a try, something like this. Bishop f3. Thanks c-floor. C-floor almost went wrong. But okay, bishop g5. So white has a bishop for 2 pawns. And white is ahead in development. 95 surely, 96. But yeah, what are you gonna do with bishop g5? Bishop b5, take. Probably he's gonna go h6. Hey Oleg. Yeah, I agree, Bago's knight. This seems a bit slowish. And you need to be swift against these setups. I like this. Just put more pressure there. Sort of forcing this move. Then you can play, well, after you deal with this. But you can play for h4, h5 maybe. There's just takes. Nope, no pre-move. It's 3+2. Yeah, bishop at b5 I went away from very quickly because there are indeed good lines for black there. Okay, knight at d7. Gotta watch out now. After bishop takes g2, there's knight f3, mate in 1. Okay, bishop takes g7 first, always here. And then maybe pawn d h6, queen d2. Is something. You get blocked on e3, but maybe you have something. But you won't save the bishop if you have checked this, then this is coming. So bishop takes d7 is automatic. Yeah, now the attack is gone for the most part, and you're on time, losing on time. Yeah, that was bad. That was too bad for white. It was a good game until then. Well, the point is that knight f3 is coming in the queen d2 line. So you can block on e3 to force takes and knight f3. I feel like pawn at d2 is mate. King f1, king g1. King g1 was fine. But okay. Now knight f4, maybe still fine. Knight e3 though is somewhat annoying. Marlon is giving chances away. I mean, rook takes h7. Yeah, exactly, Napoleon. But then still, with the pawns and knights, there was maybe something. So I like bishop takes g7. Free knight. Black is choking a bit. Mate in 2. There we go. White's back in the match. Instead of 5-2, which it should have been, it's 4-3. Black's knight was white's best defender. Exactly. Exactly. That's a knight on g2 or g7 is usually the king's friend. Okay. Marlon has watched the stream. He's playing this setup as I always like to do as well. And this is one of the best ways to counter it actually. So this could be a long game, because usually there are not that many easy tactics. So f6 takes could be considered. Bishop f6, okay. Yeah, exactly, Napoleon. I mean, the move quality is not as high, but it's the same level. That's why it's interesting. And sometimes the move quality is very high. I mean, there were some nice plans already by both players. Yeah, the queen trade. Knight h6, knight e7, okay. Yeah, I think so. Bishop f6 is somewhat a mistake. And the f6 move is better with the bishop on d6, I agree. But now it's just gonna be a forever grind on the g7 pawn. And he's trying to make some counterplay efforts with knight e2. But the white king is just too safe. He has to go here or knight e8. I mean, you have to defend. You cannot counterattack, and you're losing if you allow. Check on g7 where you have to take back with the king. But this, he's somewhat holding on. Watch out, smothered mate coming. Yes, he spots it. But now Marlon is out of diagonal pieces. Maybe he has this in mind. This is nicely done for black. Now there is a draw if he wants. Take, take, queen g8, take, knight takes f7, take, knight g5, knight f7, knight g5, knight f7. Draw would be, I don't know if I would go for the draw. Depends if he feels like he cannot defend this. And let's say queen here, take, knight f7, knight g5, up, knight f7, up. I think you cannot do that because of pawn g4, and there are too many pawns. Maybe to get the rook. Yeah, maybe. Okay, he goes knight takes, but we block with something. And this is still coming. There's not an immediate threat for black. Ooh, no, this cannot be good. This is just mate. Bishop here, mates, and now knight here, followed by queen h2. Yeah, 4-4. Marlon C overplaying his hand there. Nice game by black. After he made some positional mistakes, he held on very nicely. Okay, he goes back to bishop g7. Let's see if Ernesto does something else than his bishop g5 idea. Okay, he cannot play it anymore. Goes for e5 again. Maybe I would have played h3 in between to avoid this. Can you do this? Take knight g3. Maybe it's possible. Or pawn h7. Pawn h7. Pawn h7 was maybe winning already. If takes knight at g5, take queen h7, and if king h8, there was takes g7 and bishop takes h6. Yeah, because then Marlon has, what was it? He had 4.5, 3.5, which is 3 games remaining. Oh no, it's 2 games remaining. But he has to make 1 win out of 2. Puts the pressure on your opponent. Yeah, but here, move like pawn e7 is... I mean, white's just winning this if he doesn't give up a knight. Yeah, there we go. And if you go here, there's probably something like this. And it's also coming if you try to defend. So it looks to be 5-4 for Ernesto, but... yeah, he's gonna defend, which is a good sign, because then you have to worry less about what's happening there. Yeah, or rook d8 after rook e8. Yeah, you're right. It looked very good as well. Better even than my suggestion. I think bishop takes f7 was probably also winning, but... well, there we go, rook d8. Slightly different move, but bishop e8, you just take the material. Very nice. And 2 rooks on the 8th rank coming up. Maybe just whoa, almost emotional about how good those rooks were gonna be there. But maybe just 94. Yeah, I was about to say. Not needed to give him any chances with knight h3 or whatever. Yeah, now knight takes f6. And made in a couple moves. Bishop e5, yeah. And bishop f6, or bishop e4, or pawn f6, or pawn e4. The rooks cover. So that's 5-4, match point. Let's see. Exciting match. It still could go either way, but the 3 in a row is a good sign for black. Okay, he has to make sure he doesn't fall for this trick again, what he did last time. Take back with the bishop. Or castle, okay. A quick c4. I think I would play h6 here. But he's gonna go knight e4. This seems like a good position for both players, what they want out of the opening. White has his setup with the safe king, and black has some chances of breaking in. But here probably I would just play bishop g6 and not do anything rash. But something is coming here. Because you want to prepare defense against knight at f5 somehow. Marlon quickly eliminates the threats against the dark squares. Knight takes f2 maybe was more precise. Because now this is happening and white's sort of happy. Nice intermediate move, I think. Takes bishop d4 was coming. And now you can maybe just take the pawn. Yeah, I would have spent, he did spend some time on bishop g6, but I would have spent some time there as well and maybe calculate some variations after knight takes f2. Bishop d4 or c3 for sure. Or knight at d7 maybe. Oh wow. Really? Yeah, I like it. Good counter-attacking move. Go on the dark squares now. Yeah, this is the same idea. It wants to take here. And it covers e7, which is something. This looks very good for black. A bit biased, of course, towards my teammate, but it looks nice. Bishop takes. Yeah, queen sack looks winning. Pawn c4 or bishop e3. So the queen sack's not allowed, but now there might be. Well, there isn't any mate after bishop takes g3, I think. But there is probably also a forced mate with, yeah, what Pepsi is saying, this rook h2, take bishop takes g3, knight e2, or just bishop g1, eliminate another rook, and then knight e2. But he's just calculating here, I think. And I think he didn't see this, and he just realized I can do this as well if knight h6 is not mating. But the problem is it might. Knight h6. If you take, it's mate in 2 with knight f6, so you should not take. But I think knight f6 first. Queen at h2 was mate in. Okay. Mate in 5. Would make a nice puzzle, probably this position. Find the fastest mate. Yeah, very weird. Knight h6, king h7. Now you can go here. It's all safe. Think black was fine. You can probably even take, but you shouldn't. Yeah, now there's no checks beside rook g8, and that's just taken. And the threats are still there. Queen h2, queen takes g2. Now you're gonna cover against h2. I think you have to put something on h2. Knight f3, that's just taken. Now I guess queen at g1 is quickest. If rook takes knight f2, king takes pawn here, king back, queen takes, rook g1 again. Just repeat and remove all the rooks, but take the rooks also. Whoa, perfectly fine. I did something bad. Oh no, we missed the finish of the game. Drawing too many errors. Okay, we missed one move. Knight at g3. Okay, we'll have some time scramble, but this will be found. Yeah, this is how you do this. Good games, good games. That's a nice performance by both players, giving us a 6-4. Crazy comeback after 4-2. This game felt like it was going to be 5-2, but Ernesto kept on, and he won the game. Beautiful. Alright guys, I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Maybe I'll stream later tonight, and otherwise I'll stream tomorrow again. In the European evening. So I hope you have a good one. And congrats to Ernesto. And I hope you have a great Sunday. And see you during the next broadcast. And we're gonna say hi to Mark, who is mucking about. Probably.